Hey, this is Matthew Riddle, the King of Bros, and you're watching the BWF podcast.
Wrestling fans, thank you for joining us for another episode of the BWF Chronicles here at the BWF Wrestling Podcast. My name is Aaron Bishop, and we are joined, as always, by Canada's favorite media personality, G. Patrick Condon.
Aaron, this is a f***ed up situation, right? I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. No, we're going to keep going because we don't do retakes on that. That's the thing that we've guaranteed the BWF Nation from the beginning. So while Andrew is behind the scenes here, I do like the fact that my lower third is up. That's pretty cool. While that's going on, Aaron, why don't you tell us a little bit about how your week is going and what you did for the celebration of your anniversary?
Oh, our anniversary. Honestly, we did not do a whole lot. My God, what did we do? I can't even remember what we did, man. It's only a week ago. It wasn't very much. I tell you what, we have a trip coming up in December, so we're putting our money towards that. So we didn't want to do anything extravagant for our anniversary. I do know that we went out for supper. That was nice.
Good. Yes, we're back to normal here. Thank you, Andrew.
There you go.
I brought it up for one reason, and it wasn't just to stall until we figured out what was going on back here. You got a special shout out from a very what's the word I'm looking for? Ignamic. What do they call Jeff Hardy? Enigmatic. There you go. Enigmatic wrestler who we are selling illegal pirated version of merchandise on his behalf. And that narrows it down. But who was it? What did they say, Aaron?
That's awesome. Thank you for bringing up none other than Tugboat / Typhoon of the WWF Tag Team Championship fame. Wished us a happy anniversary.
Stop, Aaron. That's not what people know him as.
Shockmaster. The Shockmaster gave me a shocking happy anniversary message.
He gave you a shocking greeting. Anyways,
it made my day. It was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good. And I didn't even know that you guys were homies like that, but I'm happy to hear that. Just another sign of how vital we are to this wrestling community in the short time that we've been doing this podcast. Thank you. One other little piece of trivia that I wanted to lay on everybody at the same time here. As you know, we have a second in command, first in command in many ways, a fellow by the name of Andrew here. That means that this show has actually got more than one Andrew on the show. Did you guys all know that?
Yes, technically I am an Andrew.
There you go.
Yeah, legal name Andrew. Andrew Aaron Arthur Bishop. Probably shouldn't say that on the air.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, just a little thing. Have you ever gone by Drew by any chance? No? I wouldn't either. My favorite shortening of the names is Topher Grace from That 70s Show. His name's Christopher, and he goes by Topher.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's interesting.
I never knew that before. Yeah, it's really interesting.
All right, there we go. Speaking of interesting, we're going to talk about a pay-per-view that not many people talk about. Aaron, what are we talking about this week?
That's right. This week we are talking about A Cold Day in Hell pay-per-view from 1997, post-WrestleMania 13.
Oh, yeah.
Stone
Look at
Cold
that.
Steve Austin's, his very first taste of the main event.
What do you think of the Stone Cold with two earrings thing that he's got going on there and the necklace? I don't think the Steve Austin of today's day and age would be down with that.
I don't know. It kind of makes him look badass.
Steve?
They used to look badass back then, I think. But yeah, today,
I
probably
used
not
to
so
have
much.
two
No.
of my ears pierced as well, but I was 15.
I had my eyebrow pierced, if you remember that.
Yes, that's right. Did it scar?
No, not really. I can still feel the bump there, but no, it's not. Didn't scar too bad at all. I could probably poke one right through.
Ever get torn out in a wrestling match or anything like that?
No, never got torn out.
Nice.
If you remember, I used to put the Band-Aid over. Remember that?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Really, my God, your gimmick as a king that was clearly an emancipated drug user really was set off by you having a Band-Aid over your eye. It's good. It was before Nelly.
That was before Nelly. I should have trademarked that.
There you go.
Oh.
Okay, Bish. So here we go. Cold Day in Hell. The sequel to
Revenge of the Taker.
classic pay-per-view Black Day in July. What happened at Cold Day in Hell? That's for all my Gordon Lightfoot homies that watched the show, by the way. Hit me with a sound effect that's appropriate for that little joke.
I didn't even get that joke at all. That's kind of.
It's not for you. It's for my homies. Okay, that's. I think you are doing a little bit too much when it comes to the sound effects. You got to take it a step back. Okay, Aaron. Sorry. I could see him setting up to burn me with it. All right, go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
No worries. But before we do go on, for our watchers watching us on YouTube, I just want to say thank you. You can check out all of our previous episodes in their entirety on our Patreon page and continue watching throughout the show because you can learn how to win free merchandise, including t-shirts, rolling papers, and so much more.
And we've spent so much money on these things. And let me tell you, the fans, they are taking advantage of us. But we like to see that. We want to see more of it. More comments, more questions. We'll clue you into what kind of comments and questions you can leave in a moment. Aaron, please take it away. Let's do this.
All right. So some backstory, some news and notes. After Revenge of the Taker, Austin called out Bret Hart on Raw, where Austin challenged Bret to a street fight. That led to a beatdown in the ring that saw Austin attacking Bret in the leg with the help of a steel chair. When Bret was being carted off in an ambulance, Austin was shown sitting in the front of the ambulance, and he punched Bret while he was laying there. It was a shocking moment, and it was very cool. Bret was out of action for a few months, but in reality, Bret's knee was really bothering him, and he needed to take some time off so he could heal. Bret would return in the following weeks, way too early. He was wheelchair bound, so he needed more backup. The Hart Foundation added 2 members. First was Brian Pillman. He was there simply for moral support at first, but he ended up being a full-fledged member. And, of course, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And the reason why Bret returned early from surgery was because he thought that he needed to be there in order for Vince to hire Jim Neidhart, because Jim, of course, was crazy. And he would beat to his own drum kind of thing. So Bret needed to be around to make sure that Jim's job was secure. Let's see. So this group, we have Owen Hart leading up into the pay-per-view, defeating Rocky Maivia for the Intercontinental Championship. So Owen has 2 belts to match his 2 Slammies. I love this version of Owen Hart. One of my favorites.
Yeah. Where would you put him? Where would you put it? All time.
Right below King of Hearts, I think. King of Hearts number 1, and then the Slammy award-winning Owen Hart number 2.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So Austin, he won the right to face the Taker at the last pay-per-view. The Hart Foundation said they were going to buy 5 tickets off a scalper to enjoy the show from ringside and see Steve Austin in action up front, close and personal. Also on this pay-per-view, if you don't know, is the first ever matchup between Mankind and The Rock, known as Rocky Maivia.
Wow.
Yes. Lots of things on this pay-per-view. We got Ken Shamrock's first pay-per-view match. This pay-per-view is loaded.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So, well, good with the news and notes. You've set us up nicely. Take us to the night of the pay-per-view.
All right. We see a nice video package where The Undertaker is not afraid of being on the edge of Armageddon. There is no mercy or remorse. Austin believes someone will get their ass whipped. It will be one hell of a fight. Nothing can keep Austin from tearing Taker's ass to hell.
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta laugh at that.
Yeah.
But all that being said, this was a rather intense promo for a match that had little to no build. They filled the video with weird music, and the video also contains amusing imagery such as Austin's face on the moon.
But they were playing it up as if it was going to be creepy, I guess. Like they used that stock footage of the Undertaker's gravestone, the cross gravestone in it, which I don't know if that was the first time that was used. Look at that. What do you think that they're trying to communicate with that kind of a picture? Are they saying that? What are they saying with that, do you think, Aaron?
God, I have no idea. You just see Austin's eyes and nose here. It's so funny. It's very strange and composed thing. And I doubt its validity because I don't think that Austin has ever been to the moon personally. So I'd fact check them on that one if I were you. But Austin in the sky, looking down at the dead man. I mean, it writes itself. Please go ahead. It really does. Jim Ross welcomes everyone. Vince is not on commentary. A family friend named Rose Anderson passed away, so he was attending her funeral. Not very often. You don't see Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that is very rare. Mm-hmm. Who is Rose Anderson?
Just a family friend. I didn't dig any further than that.
There we go.
Oh, you're so good with that. You always get me. It's like, it doesn't matter what your name is, man. You always get me with that. It's really good. It's really good. Oh,
thank you.
God. So the first match, we're going to see Hunter Hearst Helmsley with China versus Flash Funk.
Ooh.
Yeah, but there's no Funkettes. There's no Funkettes, Pat.
I guess we haven't really hit the ground with the Attitude Era yet. I always found Flash Funk to be a particularly unusual looking guy.
A very unusual looking guy in the WWF, and like I guess in general too. Even as Too Cold Scorpio, he had a very unique look.
Yeah.
I think that if he was born in a later generation, maybe even today's generation, he would have been a bigger star than what he was, because this guy was uber talented, man. Go back and watch some clips, some highlights of Flash Funk, Too Cold Scorpio, because some of the stuff he was doing was so ahead of his time that and people don't even do some of the stuff that he was doing today. Like he was really, really great athlete. But unfortunately, the Funkettes were not very good, and they were cut as a cost-cutting measure before the show.
Oh, they're already gone by this point.
They're already gone at this point.
Oh, yeah. I thought this was something that they had were waiting to build up to. So that's
no. They are there and gone. Yeah.
That's too bad.
JR explained their absence by saying that they are afraid of China. Makes sense.
Well,
Flash catches Hunter with some drop kicks, arm drags, and shoulder blocks. He also does a cartwheel and drop kicks Helmsley out of the ring. Funk follows with a springboard clothesline, but China uses a ref distraction to attack Flash. She does this twice, while Hunter nails a face crusher and a high knee. Then Triple H wears down Funk with suplexes and holds. However, Flash boots Hunter in the face when he tries an axe handle. Hunter really actually sells that really, really good. Funk then rallies with a twisting leg drop, a springboard crossbody, and a corner heel kick. Next, Flash heads to the top, but Triple H crotches him and lands a release super back suplex.
Super back suplex.
Yes. Look at that angle he's on there. I don't know. It's a bit blurry, but.
Yeah, no, I can see it. You set it up perfectly. I love the long pants era Triple H.
Yeah. Right?
The long boys, as they call them these days.
Long boys. Well, Triple H and those long boys, he would hit the pedigree and get the 1, 2, 3. This was not a bad opener at all. I actually liked it. Some really cool spots. The crowd reacted to it. It's a good win for Triple H. It was good booking by Russo to make Hunter and China look strong as Triple H was moving on to his feud with Mick Foley after the match. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, an iconic feud that would go on for many, many years. So Triple H at 13, I'm sure you've already said this and I missed it. Who did he face at 13? Was it
at 13 was Goldust?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good because
it's a good mid card division.
It is. It really is, especially with that mix with China too. Because when China came in the mix at WrestleMania 13 and started, tossing around Marlena and stuff like that. I mean, she became, and her Triple H, they became like a really good presence on TV, right? Like
it's a good gimmick for sure.
Good gimmick, yeah. And here we are post match. China, she's picking up Flash Funk like a rag doll and crouching him over the top rope.
God love him. God love Flash Funk for letting that go down.
Right.
Cool.
Triple H just laughs at him. Who's that? Lawler says that he wants to see China lift Jim Ross like that.
That's good. That's a rare non-sexist comment from Jerry Lawler.
Right. Very, very rare indeed.
Yeah.
Then JR, he'll get on the house mic and he points out the empty seats that the Hart Foundation bought. Next, Ross introduces UFC footage of Ken Shamrock. It does not impress Lawler. This leads to JR interviewing Ken Shamrock. Ross asks Ken if Vader and Mankind's attack on the free-for-all earlier affected him. Ken says he's focused and in the zone. Mankind and Vader, look at him. He's in the zone. Mankind and Vader, he won't shake him from his zone.
No. You could already tell that this, even at this early stage, it left me wondering how much does Ken think that this is real and where does the fantasy begin? You never know with Ken. And you didn't even see in that photo. We look at that photo there. Another classic. It certainly encompasses everything that Ken Shamrock is, which is just really super serious. And he called that the zone. I had completely forgotten about that until you just said it.
Yeah, remember he goes to walk up the steel steps and pound his head. I'm in the zone. Yeah, good shit.
Yeah. Goldberg stole that hit in the head thing too.
Goldberg. I'm glad you brought up Ken Shamrock thinking everything was real, though, because we will definitely get into that during his match with Vader, because Boyd thought things were real for sure at this point.
Nice.
But next, Mankind, he enters the arena for his match. Todd Pettengill interviews Rocky Maivia. Todd shows Rocky footage of his debut and his Intercontinental title win. But Todd also reminds Maivia that he lost the belt. Todd asks if success came too soon. Rocky says it did. He surprised himself with all of the success, but Rock screws up his line next. Rocky, he says, also hell, a lot. Learned a hell of a lot on the way up and on the way down. But this isn't about his destiny. It's about his determination. And again, you can see frustration on his face, man.
Hold on a second. Wait a second. This guy, this Rocky, he can't talk. He's like got a bag of marbles in his mouth. This has come from the guy that really struggled with saying the word enigmatic moments ago. But I'm going to judge him on this.
Enigmatic I can't even say it right. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, yeah. So you get a pass. We all get a pass for that.
But Rocky does not get one for his. What did he say again? How did he screw it up? Say it to him again.
Hell, a lot. Learned a hell of a lot on the way up and on the way down. What
an idiot. What a stupid friggin' idiot. Ugh. I hate that guy.
Douchebag.
Yeah.
So next, we have Mankind versus Rocky Maivia, but the original plan was supposed to be our friend Psycho Sid against Mankind.
We should do a show at some point about all of the matches that Sid was advertised for and just never did. Like that Intercontinental Championship match with Shawn Michaels. I saw this coming up on the screen. I was like, I don't remember Sid fighting Mankind. What happened?
He went to go play softball, but in storylines, Sid, he prevented Mankind from using a blowtorch on The Undertaker. Now, fans, if you want to win merchandise, this is one of the ways you can help. Nice. I was trying to fact check this. I watched the clip. I don't remember this blowtorch segment at all. So I was like, okay, I have to go back and watch it. I didn't see Sid, but the internet says Sid somehow was intertwined in this. So fans, if you can leave in the comments what Sid did to help The Undertaker not get blowtorched, you will win. Now, this
is great, Aaron. This is a great example of engagement where instead of patronizing the audience by asking them questions we already know the answers to, they can actually give us some information that we can't find out ourselves. So that's a great one. Good to hear you thinking about the show like that.
Thank you.
And that is a well-placed sound effect, I got to say. Well done. You're redeeming yourself. Go ahead, please.
The WWF changed their plans.
Okay. Sorry, I thought I could hear a click. I thought something was coming. Paranoid now.
WWF changed their plans because of injury / Sid wanted to play softball.
Yeah.
Rocky Maivia is the replacement, as we mentioned. JR mentions that he will interview Mankind over the coming weeks. This is great insight into the life and story of Mankind. If you remember those sit-down interviews, they're so good and integral to the character development of Mankind. Go back and watch them if you have the time.
It's it's great stuff. Is this the first time that Jim Ross had done a sit-down interview like this?
Yes, because the one with the game Triple H, that would come later. So yes. I do believe this is the first one of that he would do. Yeah, because he would do Kane and Triple H, all them later. Yeah,
it's but now, and I could be wrong on this, but even at this point, a wrestler doing a sit-down interview, and then the end result of that is him attacking Jim Ross, is like another step in wrestling, sort of shattering or blurring the line between real and fake. Mm-hmm. Which at this point, even in 1997, they're becoming fewer and far between of what you can really sacred land that you can sort of mess with, which was really cool to experience at the time. But again, like, I mean, I don't want to get off on a rant about this, but the pay-per-view that happened over the weekend, like anytime something happens on a wrestling show where it looks like something is not supposed to happen, it very much feels inauthentic at this point. What say you, Aaron?
No, it's true. But to bring up your point of the Hell in the Cell match,
son of a
all right. No, to bring up your match at the Hell in the Cell, the Drew and CM Punk, awesome match, by the way.
5 stars. 5 stars.
5 stars. And hot take, CM Punk's best match in his career. Even better than CM Punk versus John Cena at Money in the Bank. Leave in the comments what you think. Nice. The toolbox into the head. That was planned, obviously, but Drew, getting split open like that was not part of the plan. It just added that much more realism. I don't know. It blurred. Everything was. I love that match. Everything about that match was sorry, we got to beat that. Was awesome. But you're right. It blurred the lines of reality. Sorry. Moving on to. Sorry. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. We got off on a tangent there. But that being said, the match between Rocky and Mankind, it was okay. Rocky avoids Mankind's attacks and knocks him out of the ring with clotheslines. They brawl on the floor and back into the ring. Rocky uses a power slam, elbow drop, and some hammerlocks, but Mankind sends Maivia through the ropes. He then gives Rocky a cannonball off the apron and a running knee in the corner. That looked pretty cool. After a double down spot, they fight up to the ramp. Rock bottom to the steel ramp. Damn. Wow. Yeah, it looked brutal. It was really, really good.
So Rock is still very much Rocky Maivia babyface at this point, right?
Oh, yeah. Rocky is definitely the babyface here, but as we can see here in this match alone, fans are starting to not have it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So this is
sort
of one of the defining points. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing with Mick Foley is like, I assume he loses this match.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. Rock loses this match. I did not see it coming, but the Rocky, after a quick cradle for two, will hit a clothesline, and he would jump off the top rope for a cross body. And when he hit the cross body, he would Mankind would actually roll through it and hit the mandible claw, get on top of him. Rocky's out. Match is over.
Wow.
Good
so
stuff.
a clean win too.
A clean win. Yeah.
That's surprising, because I was going to say that, all of the times that we cover Mick Foley and Mankind, he's losing in every one of these situations. He loses all of his matches, it seems like. So it's surprising to see this. I guess maybe this is like setting up the heel turn for Rock eventually, perhaps, or what do you think the reasoning is about that sort of moving the chess pieces into play for this match? Where do they go from here?
I think you're right. I think this is in order to set up the heel turn for The Rock. So this is very early into Russo's tenure. He knew Rocky needed to go into a new direction. The Rock knew he needed to go into a new direction. I do believe that he would get injured very shortly after this, and then they would do the Rock reboot with the heel turn.
Cool.
But yeah, this is all seeds are being planted for that to happen, regardless of the injury or not.
Yeah. Well, and then I guess the original point that I was going to make is that Mick loses a lot of these matches, but he's doing, a cannonball off of the side of the ring and all these sort of like not high flying, but these brutal moves, taking rock bottoms on the steel ramp, which was unheard of at the time. You're going to get the fans to, want to see you, because you're going to do all this crazy stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the fans actually even cheered Mankind when he won the match. So it just goes to show you, even as much of a heel Mankind was just a few weeks earlier trying to blowtorch Undertaker's face off, here he is getting a positive reaction from the crowd over this stud Rocky Maivia. It's quite funny. Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool. Yes,
but
very significant. What's next?
Unfortunately, we have to do the Nation of Domination versus Ahmed Johnson in a gauntlet match. Oh my God! This is definitely the down point of the pay-per-view.
What's wrong with this? Because I know that you're a big Ahmed Johnson fan. I'm a big Ahmed Johnson fan. We get to see Ahmed Johnson take on three guys in a gauntlet match. What's wrong with that?
Oh well, let's see. I'll tell you. We have a recap for this match with Jim Ross saying Jim Ross was recapping the feud from Raw where Crush had his own gauntlet match. He dispatched two jobbers without an issue. Farouk then called for a third victim. A man in a Packers jacket and a stocking over his head arrives. He hits a Pearl River plunge and pins Crush. He then removes the stocking to reveal Ahmed Johnson. The Nation enters the arena before we go with Todd and Ahmed. They originally planned to space Ahmed's matches all throughout the night. Thank God they did not. They changed that on the free-for-all as Johnson agreed to face the Nation in succession.
Yes.
Pettengill thinks they stack the odds against Johnson. Ahmed says it's always that way. He dares Farouk to start the match because it's all about the two of them. But if he brings his goons to the party, they may as well dance. Tonight, somebody's going to the end. Meanwhile, Gorilla Monsoon orders the Nation to stand on the ramp as they have to wait there until it's their turn, which is a nice little different. Usually they all have to wait in the back, right? And then the buzzer counts and they come out, but they're all waiting up in the ramp, waiting their turn. So
yeah,
a little
nice.
more realistic.
Get this over with.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough.
No. I mean the match, not you. I can listen to you. I listen to you talk all night about this.
All right, gauntlet match. First, it's Ahmed versus Crush. Oh my God! Crush punches, scissor kick, and a slam. Crush counters with a boot to the head, diving clothesline, and we get nerve holds. They exchange suplexes. Ahmed drops Crush on his face, but Crush answers with a sleeper hold.
Who's doing the nerve holes? It's Crush, is it?
It's Crush, man. It's so bad. This is so bad.
I used to like Crush, but he's not good, is he? He's not very good.
No, man. It's just like nerve pinches, and it's so bad. Yeah. When Johnson breaks free, Crush calls for help. He doesn't get it. Crush nails a pile driver, calls for help again. Nation does not oblige, so Crush tries for a hurt punch. Ahmed counters with a heel kick to pin Crush. Ugh, that was painful to say. My God. Next, we have Savio Vega. He limps to the ring. Oh, Savio, all these guys, they all have like injuries. So I think Crush had the flu. Savio has a bad leg, and Ahmed has a bad arm in a sling. Or is it a ruse?
So now this is the Nation of Domination before everything got so divided on racial lines. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this initial Nation of Domination?
The initial one, I mean, it was before D'Lo was any good. Crush was in it, who was horrible. Kama Mustafa wasn't the Godfather. He was just Kama Mustafa. And then we got, was it PG-13, I think, from ECW as the White Boys rapping their theme song. I mean, I was not a fan of it. And Farouk was just fresh off his Farouk Assad Blue Warrior bullshit. So I don't know. I didn't like it as much, but I think when the Nation got to Sexual Chocolate and Owen Hart and The Rock and all that stuff, I think that was the best version of the Nation by far. But this initial stuff, nah, not for me.
Doesn't make any sense why they're all together, really.
No. Like, what is it?
I don't know.
What is the Nation? This initial version, what is the Nation? I have no idea. Either way, Ahmed beat Savio. And then in the last match, somehow, or not somehow, but surprisingly, Farouk gets the win. He chop blocks Ahmed Johnson, hits the Dominator, and pins him clean.
Yes. Well, I mean, our man Ahmed Johnson just went through 2 other elite talents. So is it clean at that point? I don't know.
Fair enough. But at this point, this is the last time that we would see Ahmed Johnson as a viable threat to anybody. And he basically adopted, the phrase, if you can't beat him, join him. And he would become the newest member of the Nation of Domination within a few weeks.
That's too bad. I probably lost interest in him. Look at those double knee pads. I mean, I think it's just amazing that it took hundreds of years of wrestling for somebody to finally figure that out. Put 2 on. It looks wicked. Now, here's something that just came to me. You remember Monty Brown?
Yeah, the Pounce.
Everybody thought that he was like another version of The Rock, but really, he was just a better version of Ahmed Johnson.
I agree with that. What do you think, folks? Leave it in the comments.
Nice. All right.
Next, we get one that I've been looking forward to, and it's Vader versus Ken Shamrock. Oh, baby. Here we go. So, JR, he's going to recap the storyline. We see Ken Shamrock doing commentary on a Vader match. After Vader wins, he taunts Shamrock. Ken tells him to shut up. Vader dares him to enter the ring. He even spits on Ken. That is enough. Ken storms the ring, and they roll around on the mat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So in the interview, this is good. Todd interviews Vader. He shows footage of Vader and Mankind's attack on the free-for-all. Pettingill asks Vader what he was thinking. Vader says that he was playing with the boy. ABC calls Ken the world's most dangerous man.
Yeah. Okay.
But they said nothing about the WWF. Todd then asks what Vader's strategy is. It's pain. Vader says Ken knows nothing about Vader's pain game. It's Vader time. He yells and leaves the room.
Where's Cornette in all this? They shouldn't let Vader speak.
No, they really shouldn't. Where's Cornette? That's a good point.
Yeah.
Leave the comments, folks. Where the hell is Vince Cornette at this point?
Yes. I mean, it certainly is not Russo at this point, right? They haven't developed their hatred yet, but so this is Ken Shamrock's first official match in the World Wrestling Federation.
Indeed it is, yes.
And how does it go? Briefly.
Well, Vader gets his nose broke. His knees would be wrecked. He would have issues walking for weeks after this. Basically, they're giving each other a shit through the match. And it's very, very physical. We get some suplexes. Very, very nice suplex, actually, from Shamrock on Vader. But
yeah, look at that. My God.
Yeah, got the height there. Really good looking. But
so
Vader,
they're working together, obviously. Like
but they're snug. They're being really, really stiff on each other.
Yeah.
And Ken's not getting the point where, you're supposed to not kill the opponent.
Pull it a bit. Yeah.
Right. So Vader, he actually leaves the ring to regroup because he's getting the shit kicked out of him. And Shamrock thinks that Vader's sabotaging the match.
Really?
Yeah, so Shamrock lays it into him some more when he gets in.
Oh, no.
You can literally hear Vader yelling, "Ease up!" Ken's not listening at all. Yeah, so Vader, he turns around and he absolutely clobbers Shamrock in the face. There's a GIF on it online if you want to take a look at it. Right there, it looks like he takes his head off. It's amazing.
Nice. I had no idea this was happening.
Oh yeah. This match is
cool.
It's not your 5-star classic, but it's definitely going back and worth the watch.
It's got some stuff going on there.
It got some stuff going on. Yeah.
So what's the finish?
Ken catches Vader in an ankle lock, and Vader taps out.
Taps. Wild. And is this the first instance of a tap being the official end? Because we all know that the tap came because of Ken Shamrock. Would this then be the first time a tap out is used as submission in a WWF match?
I am 99.9%. No! Oh, damn it. 99.9% sure that it is. But if it's not, please leave it in the comments, folks. What is the first tap out?
Oh, you didn't know? Switch it up there a little bit.
There you go.
All right. And now I guess where are we on the main event of this bad boy, are we?
Oh, no.
Oh
yes, we are. No, we are. Sorry, okay. We are. We're going to get an interview from Todd and Stone Cold. Stone Cold doesn't care about the empty seats. So what is the reasoning behind these empty seats? Is it just they never sold out these tickets and this is what they're saying? The Hart Foundation, they bought these tickets from a scalper. They just haven't shown up in their seats yet.
Oh, okay. So it's just the 4 or 5 seats.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if the entire front section was empty or whatever.
No, just the Harts, just their boys. Gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, Austin does not care about the seats. It just means that the Hart family will be closer to him. After he whips Taker's ass, he'll send the Harts back to Calgary in wheelchairs. Then Austin asks if the Undertaker checked the weather because hell is about to freeze over. And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. Austin leaves.
And now, just to make sure that everybody out there sort of recognizes this, that hell freezing over would indeed mean that it was a cold day in hell.
Exactly.
I could tell that I just did something to blow your mind or something there. Like, I could see you made a subtle reaction. Thank you. That you had not. You realized that the connection there, and then realized that you should have known this, and you stifled your reaction. If we can, when we're doing post, can we just bring that up, Bishop's reaction to that over and over again, slow motion of him realizing the connectivity of those two things? Thank you.
The light bulb going off?
Yes, the light bulb going off.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's so good. God. During Austin's entrance, JR says that Austin has the disposition of a rattlesnake. Somehow I think that will stick.
Wow.
Yeah. Ross and Lawler also spot a fan sign. It says Steve Austin for president. Lawler says the national bird would be the finger if that happened. I don't know why.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Good. Yeah.
I wonder if that sign was a plant. That's almost a little too clever.
Maybe. Austin, he comes out at first to a huge pop. He's finally starting to get over with the crowd. Undertaker gets the usual 5-hour entrance to a huge pop of his own. They have a long stare down that gets interrupted, however, by the Hart Foundation walking down the aisle. There they are, Owen, Brett, Davey, Jim, Brian, and of course, Brett's in the wheelchair. They all take their seats. Pillman threatens some fans with Brett's crutches. Great moment. Austin notices Taker is distracted and then jumps him. Austin charges Undertaker to start. He gets punches and kicks, but Undertaker fights back with some of his own. Into the ropes, Austin ducks out of the ring to pull Owen Hart over the railing. Undertaker tosses Austin into the ring steps, and then he heads over and he knocks Owen back into the seat. The crowd is absolutely loving it. Austin gets a thumb to the eye and then a side headlock that keeps Undertaker down. Taker whips him to the ropes, shoulder blocked by Taker, and another Austin side headlock takeover. After the headlock, Taker gets a backdrop, but Austin follows up with a clip to the knee. He pulls Taker down and wraps Taker's knee around the post 3 times. Undertaker blocks another attempt by having Austin go headfirst into the post.
Now, we see a picture here of that little sequence going on, and I notice the crutches in front of Bret Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Does that become a factor in the match? Don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet.
You don't want to be spoiled? No spoilers? Okay.
No, I'm on the edge of my seat here. What happens next, Aaron?
Well, back in, Austin gets he trips him up. He trips up Taker and he works on the knee by dropping all of his weight across it. Knee to the face. He stomps away at the left knee, but Taker fights back with fists. Tombstone attempt is reversed by Austin into an STF. Nice little sequence. The fight goes to the outside again where Taker slams Austin's head into the steel steps. Back in the ring, Taker sinks a half Boston Crab. Austin makes it to the ropes. He rolls out, so Taker rolls him right back into the ropes. Big boot misses, and Austin gets a leg takedown of his own. Austin slams Taker's knee against the edge of the ring apron. Suplex by Austin for 2. Taker with an armbar and sidekick sends Austin down. Armbar to the top, but this time Austin hits him in the leg and Taker gets crotched on the top rope. You don't see his old school get countered too often at this point.
No, and obviously it's not being called old school here. Now,
No.
Does the dead man sell his nads being hurt? Because you would think that would be something that wouldn't affect Zombie.
I've always wondered the same thing. He does like somewhat sell, yeah, but it's almost like he's trying to sell but look cool while doing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah,
It's one of the weird things about that character. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, probably should never get hit in the nuts, especially as a babyface, because there's only one way of selling it. It's like the way that like AJ Styles sells it, or like Seth Rollins or whatever. Like, you can only do it in a comedic way.
That's right. Dead man character should not be put in a position where he's experiencing something like that where he has to sell, because his character doesn't feel pain. So exactly, it just doesn't make sense. But all this being said, we get a superplex by Steve Austin, and that is reversed into a front suplex for Taker. Sleeper for Taker reversed into a jawbreaker that the crowd pops huge for because they thought it was a stunner. They got a 2 count. Undertaker fights out with some fists that sees Austin get pounded down in the corner. Low blow by Austin is seen by referee Earl Hebner. Hebner yells at Austin for it, but when Hebner turns his back, Austin flashes the middle fingers to the back of his head.
Oh, that's
kind of like you do to your parents, right? When they tell you to clean your room.
Yeah. What did the crowd think about that?
Got a good pop for it.
Okay.
But
I probably
right
thought that was cool too. In fact, I do that right now, actually. Even now, I'll throw the bird once Mom's turned around.
But Undertaker would get a blatant low blow of his own. Austin would complain about it to Hebner, but all he got in return is a double bird and a loud "F by Earl Hebner, and the crowd ate that up.
There you go.
You get a choke slam from the Undertaker. Yeah, good old Earl.
Going into
good old Earl Hebner.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why you can't really name many referees these days, and it's because of people like Earl Hebner. You know, you're not supposed to know these guys' names. or Should you? Maybe you can leave a comment down in the comment section. Should you know the referees' names? Should they be characters that you know? I mean, in the UFC, they know. So maybe you should.
Like John McCarthy, yeah. I don't even know who the senior official is in WWE these days. Is it Jack Doan? Is he still around? No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Who is the senior official? Leave a comment.
There you go. Double points. Abroad took a bump for the first time. Ref bump over the weekend at Bad Blood.
Oh, did she? I missed it. When was that?
They're still breaking down these sexist walls. And yes, it is worthy of an applause. For sure.
I watched the pay-per-view. I don't even remember it, so I'll have to go back, I guess. But anyway.
I would say that you probably went on a washroom break, as we know. All right.
Oh, my God. All right. We're going to wrap up this main event right now. Austin rolls out to the apron near the Hearts. Taker follows and gets his neck draped across the top. Stunner by Austin. He goes for a cover, but the bell starts ringing before the ref can count. Brian Pillman is ringing the bell.
Oh, that's scamp.
That's scamp. Undertaker sits up. Austin tries to keep him down, but he gets whipped into the ropes. Tombstone by Taker is reversed into a tombstone for Austin, but that is reversed into a tombstone by the Undertaker for the win at 20 minutes and 9 seconds.
Yeah, that's the right call. So the crutches were never used.
The Hart Foundation jumps the guardrail and attacks the Undertaker. Austin sees Bret Hart is alone and in the crowd, so he jumps him and dumps Bret out of his wheelchair. Steve then takes a crutch and clears the ring. Taker gives Owen Hart a chokeslam that leaves Austin and Taker alone in the ring. Fink announces Taker is the winner. Austin gives Taker a stunner, flips him off, and chases the Hart Foundation up the ramp with the crutch.
There you go. What do you think about that finish? What do you think about that finish?
It's the right call. Well, Austin wasn't ready at that point.
No, but I mean, he still came out with the heat at the end by stunnering Undertaker in his first title defense. So I don't know. I mean, that's almost like, what is it? Kevin Nash not lost his first title defense, but it was ended in a DQ. And he said that was one of the reasons that his reign was not well received. So
that's a good point, because this reign from Taker is not really that well received. He's literally going through a new opponent every single month as the WWF is just trying to establish him as champion. And, he goes through the Farouks, he goes through the Steve Austins, the Mankind. Yeah, so Mankind wasn't bad, but still, yeah, he didn't have his identity as a champion. This reign is just not well looked upon when you go back.
No, even the match that he won it in at Mania 13 was not well received. And I think probably the most notable match is the one that he lost it in.
Yeah, honestly. That was the best match of his reign, so yeah. But yeah, there you go. That is the Cold Day in Hell.
Hit the music.
Wrestling fans, subscribe to this amazing channel by clicking on the bell below. And when you're done watching this, go ahead and like it. If you leave a comment, you can win a free t-shirt. Then do yourself a favor and go look at our amazing Patreon page for free with a 7-day trial. You'll see first-person experiences from a multitude of wrestling events over the past 20 years, along with videos that any action figure collector would love to see. Finally, you can catch up on all of our previous episodes at BWFpodcast.com.